Hi, I'm Lisanne Miller with W. Cushing and Company, and it's in the library with Lisanne for July. We have two different books today. One's about realistic animals, and of course the other is Christmas in July. But just as a reminder, we do have a few of Tom Boswell's The Rug Hook book, and you can see all about it in one of our past In the Libraries with Lisanne. We have a few copies, hardcover copies of that left. And then the Hooked Rugs, the American Folk Art, we still have about 3 of these by Leslie Lindsay left. Great books, good to add to your collection. For today, the first thing we're going to go over is Hooked on the Wild Side by Elizabeth Black. This is how to hook realistic animals, everything you need to know. And trust me, it is everything that you need to know. Unfortunately, as we all know, Elizabeth is no longer with us, but she can still teach us through her book. So, this book, if you've never looked at it, you can go through the index, but it has a lot of the evolution of the rug hooker, what is rug hooking, different backings, preparing for your project, gathering your wools, putting it on. Now these are all just your basics. And then, a different way to dye. This is actually for animals, how to do a cold dye solution. And this gives you more of a feather or a mottled look for fur or for feathers. Now this is, the rest of the book here gets into the guts of how to hook different animals, the fur, the skin. She even gives you tips down the bottom about directional hooking. We all know directional hooking is very important. These drawings here about how to do the highlight in an eye, how to do the pupil, where the placement is, and as you can see, very, very effective. And there it is, hooked. I like that it's not on the same page. It's a good tutorial. You put it together, you turn the page, and that's how it should look. Noses are very important. Dog's noses, a fox's nose, a bear's nose, a basic nose, they're all very important because if the nose is out of proportion, the animal does not look realistic. And here are all different noses, different types. And it all just keeps going and going. There's a lot of reading here. This is a good book for summer reading. She even does a cow's nose, other noses on domestic animals. And then she gives you the pictures. There's a pig's nose, cat's nose, horse's nose. So she goes through completing the face. This is very important about the teeth. We don't want them to look like they have dentures. She tells you how to avoid that. Domestic cats, well, there's 1,000 different ways to hook the cats. She goes in particularly into the cat's ears, the cat's eyes, things that will make the cat soft, will make the cat's head turn, will accentuate the paws or the ruff if needed. And there's different types of cats, different ways to hook the fur. Dogs, their fur, a dog's full face. The placement of the ears on the dog is very important, the folded ear versus the upright ear, as you can tell from here. There's the boxer's up ear, here we go. There's something like a beagle's ear, a cocker spaniel. Horses, the different snouts, the different angles on a horse, the ears. Pigs, now this almost looks real, but it is hooked. And that gives you the hooking, how the background is important, the placement of the ears. Cows, longhorn, milk cows, jerseys, whatever you would like. Again, ears, nose, eyes. Wild animals. Wild animals is a very good section to read. You'll probably read it 1 or 2 times to grasp it. but then you can go back to it as a resource. And there's a big cat, there's a deer, a buck, different types of noses, different wild animals to hook. A panda. Notice not all white, how to lay those colors in. Here's parts of Noah's Ark and the fox. Very important how the ears are, how the snout is, the nose. All of that goes into that right here. This goes into a donkey, a mule, and a bear. There's a goat. The body, there's a sheep. And how the body goes into the head, colors to use. And they're in snippets if it's part of a pictorial. So you can read the snippet that applies, come back to it, put little stickies for notes. How to make dummy boards with these. And just an all-around good book. So this is a very good book, excellent, works well. Great to keep going back and forth to if you're going to hook different animals from domestic to polar bears to big cats. So great book, good as a reference. All right, Christmas in July. Of course it's Christmas in July. It's always Christmas in July. Christmas in July, we're back on the night before Christmas. Although the story doesn't change at all, there's no difference to the story, the pictures change. And this is a black and white sepia monochromatic version of The Night Before Christmas. The illustrator did such a great job with shadows. You can see the cat, the hooked rug, the stockings. When you really look at this book, even if you're not going to hook it in a monochromatic, how the hair, the colors in the hair, how to get the shadows correct, how to have moonlight coming into a room, snow on a tree, of course a reindeer and a sleigh, but the different layers of a night sky. So this Night Before Christmas, monochromatic, where the colors, where the snow goes, lights, darks, even look at the face. If you want to hook a realistic face, this is a great book to show how to hook it, where to put the lights, where to put the mediums and the darks. There's Santa, even the boughs of the tree, how to hook the boughs of the tree between dark green, light green, brown, folds in a curtain. And there's his sleigh with the reindeer. Again, all no color, but you know what it is. And this back picture, excellent reference if you want to hook. In a monochromatic, you want a layered sky. You know it's a moonlit sky. You know there's snow on the roofs. And it just works. You can see the brick, but there's no color. And this is a great, great reference book for that. So this is 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and it's illustrated by Matt Tavares. Very good book. The second book was a little bit of a surprise. This is The Night Before Christmas. Once again, the story doesn't change, by Clement C. Moore. But this said Holly Hobbie. And I almost didn't get the book because I thought it was Holly Hobbie. But I think it was Holly Hobbie before she was Holly Hobbie, if that makes sense. This is the book without the dust jacket. This is the book with the dust jacket, without the dust jacket. And without the dust jacket really has more value. Look at the fox on the back. Looks great. But we'll go into this book here. And very quickly, it is not a Holly Hobbie, but it is illustrated so beautifully. And you can see, again, boughs, the reds, how to do floorboards, how to do walls to floorboards. The fox is excellent reference. Shadows from the tree, snow on a fence. And just little things like the wreath, the hangings, the bed, the rugs. Now look at this version, very different from the first one with all the snows coming in. His hat's there, his jacket's there, how to hook the pajamas, the baby, the cat. Here's the cat again in the window. Look at the Santa Claus in silhouette, the tree in silhouette. It's very lightly colored, just a beautiful job. Even the little drawings where you see these pine boughs, how to put a ribbon around it and hang a sock. These are all just great information, wonderful references, and of course, a beautiful book. How to put snow into the sky. Coming up on the house. Now this is very interesting because we get asked this a lot about hooking jingle bells. And this is a great example of how to hook jingle bells and a bough that is not just pine green. Of course, the sleigh on the roof. There we are, the stairs. This is a great example of how to hook stairs, the chair. Of course, his pajamas again. You could make them red and white. Santa, the tree done not so descript, not precise. The brick, this is a great example of brick. A wonderful tree. There is no space in the tree, but look at all the ornaments. Of course, Santa's there to hook. Here's presents, how to put bows. More of the tree, the stockings. There's the cat again with Santa. Santa's not as descript in this one, so if you don't want to do a precise Santa, here's the lights and darks of the Santa suit. Snow coming down the chimney. Now the stocking's filled, how it crinkles to show that it's filled. Beautiful scene. Fox, the shadow, his paw prints. There's the snowman. This is a great, great pictorial, panoramic pictorial of a winter evening, whether you want to put Santa in a sleigh in or not. There's a great shot of the cat, of course, with an ornament. How to hook a bedspread in 2 tones. And that's the end of that. So even in these little pictures and in the little pictures throughout, they give you hints on what to do. Hints on how to hook, color placement. So again, the story doesn't change, but the pictures do. So 2 great Night Before Christmas for Christmas in July. And if you want to hook realistic animals, Hooked on the Wild Side. So I hope you've enjoyed this 3rd Thursday for July. We'll see you again in August, and I hope you have a wonderful month. Bye for now.